and then I'm going to give people the link a little bit early. Is there anything else that we need before people might start showing up? Um, okay, yeah, I think we're all set. Great. Okay, I'll close that. All right. And I got a ping. Oh yeah, no, that's the announcements. Good, yeah, it posts our live stream in our announcements channel. Are you in our Discord, by the way?
I am, yeah. Let me open
What's
Discord.
yeah, what's your there was someone that was asking about
It's
the
probably
time.
it's my name.
Do you know this person, Atessa, by any
It's
chance?
just
Yeah, we had like two or three
I
new
don't
members
think
join
so,
that
but
seemed like they were particularly interested in attending this one. So that's cool. Um, I'm gonna tag everyone and give them the link.
okay, yeah, I'm in here. That's all. I don't think I know them.
Cool.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe I do, and I don't. It's hard to see from the
One
picture.
time we had someone running around. We were running around with someone, and it turned out it was Ryan's sister. I didn't know. I think he knew. I didn't know until the end who it was, but
He didn't know.
well,
He didn't know it
I
was his
think
sister.
he probably knew, but I did not know. So I was just like, "Do you have any questions, etc." And then by the end, like she kept dropping hints that like she knew him. I was like, "Oh, okay." Okay, we're starting together in a section for the talk, and okay, I'm gonna post a link. Uh, all right, post an announcement. I'm gonna text Matt too. I think Ryan can't be here, but my colleague Matt might be able to come. So, Matt Crittenden, all right, so I'm gonna go greet anyone that pops in here, and then I'm gonna go live on Spatial. Okay, how do I do that again? Share, and then go live. And I should probably make a Twitter post too. Okay, that should be everywhere. Oh, Instagram. Did I do that? Yeah, no, I did Instagram. Okay, great. Um, so I've been playing with a new augmented reality game came out this week. That is kind of cool. It's
Oh
basically like
yeah.
it's called Over Beast World, and it's like Pokemon Go meets Godzilla. So every city and
Mm.
region, like every state in the U.S. right now, has a giant monster, and they fight each other. And so you are on a
Oh
team with
cool.
everyone in your state, and you're all feeding this, powering up this monster to fight against the other. So like we just fought Connecticut's monster, and we won. Uh, so my state is on the top of the rankings, and it's like a league. And then at the end of the season, there's like a championship. It's like Monster Fighting League. Um,
How can you just download it? Like what?
yeah, it's called
Do you
Overbeast.
have
It's
to
on the
join a
App
league
Store.
or?
Yeah, no, you can just download it on the App
Okay.
Store. It's kind of heavy for my phone. Like, definitely uses a lot of resources, but I like how it makes every stranger in your region is a potential friend or ally because you're all working for the same
Yeah,
thing.
no,
So
that's
that's
cool.
kind of neat. Yeah. There's a
That's a little
Tesla.
weird though, because I live like.
We are
Oh,
over here.
hi.
Yeah, welcome. Um, just a little onboard. If you're new to spatial, I don't know if you are, but there's microphone settings in the lower left. There's menu with a bunch of stuff. There's another settings menu in the top right, three dots. That settings menu contains your audio, your graphics options, etc. But so glad you can make it. I know you were asking about the time in Discord, but I hope that you figured it out anyway. The chat box is in the lower right, down here. And so we can take questions and comments either from microphone or chat through the event. And yeah, great to be here. Here's Richard. Hello, welcome, Richard. Welcome to the meetup. We are just gathering, starting to gather folks. And if you're new to spatial, there's some settings in the top right three dots menu. Has your audio settings, and then the bottom left or bottom middle of the screen has a menu with your microphone mute options and some reactions and various settings there. Chat is in the lower right, and the talk is going to be happening over here in the green hedge area here, this plaza. Um, while we're waiting for um, any more folks to arrive, we've got some information sprinkled around the space here. Next to the entrance here, there's a link to our Discord and description of Spectra. Back at the spawn point, there's a link to our website. And if you have the inclination, you can explore the rest of the intersection. There's a bunch of portals to our other spaces on the other side of the intersection. There's also some information about the city that we're in here. Like over in that little hut over there, you might see a little portal there just describing the different parts of the city. So the city was designed by architects as a proposal for like a livable city in the near future that is totally car free and so forth. So there's some information about that around there. And yeah, the talk is going to happen over here in the Green Plaza, and probably in about 5 to 10 minutes we'll get going with that. Cat's here as well. Feel free to chat um, either using your mic or in the chat is whatever's you're most comfortable with.
Really nice environment you got there.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Yeah, we appreciate it. It's not actually finished, so it was made as a, oops, it was made more as a suggestion of a starting point. So the whole point of this project is that um, uh, the architects that designed the city wanted it to be a cooperative and open source city for the future. And so it was made to be open source. Our website has a lot of the assets you can actually download as 3D models and use freely, no attribution required, in hopes that people would remix it according to their ideas for what they would want a city of the future to be like. So yeah, we're trying to host a community where people come together to design virtual projects that could be also real urban design projects. sort of a co-creation laboratory of sorts. And yeah, that's what Spectre Cities community is all about.
That's cool. You're ahead. You're way ahead on that. That's really cool.
Yeah, thanks. Welcome. How'd you find us by chance?
Dude, it's my second day here. Actually, I'm a technical 3D environment artist.
Oh, great.
I recently joined. I mean, I knew about it, but I didn't check it. And then I was like, fuck it, let's just plug my cell phone. And I did it on the cell phone.
So you're
And
just
it's
trying
really,
out spatial.
yeah. Well, now I'm no longer trying it because I downloaded Unity. And I'm clearly going to start working
Oh, you're
soon, but
working with
on
the
it. But
toolkit. Yeah, that's great.
yeah,
Oh,
for sure, for sure.
yeah, we're the same. We're
The
we're
the one.
gonna experiment with it, so we'd love to keep in touch and build with you. And yeah.
The one thing that I can say that everyone, I kind of get it, but nobody seems to bake lighting on their scene, which
Oh,
is a big
yeah.
part of how something looks real. And
So
maybe
yeah,
I'm gonna do that. Yeah, go ahead.
there's a reason for that, which is interesting. So up until about a month ago, Spatial did not have a Unity SDK, and all you
Okay.
could do was upload a GLB file basically to be the environment. And so
Well, okay,
all the
okay.
lighting for this scene had to be done with like a duplicate mesh with the lighting info in it. So yeah, it was really
Okay.
hard. But now we can actually do it in Unity. So we're going to revisit some of the, because actually the scene we're in right now is based on a more high fidelity PCBR demo of a much larger city. And so we can go back in now and possibly, up up the lighting for sure and upgrade some of the other stuff. It's going to be interesting. Yeah, the quality
Can
just
I
went
just say?
up a lot.
Can I? Can I just say your pixel? I mean, as so far right now, your pixel ratio seems to be really good. This is one issue that I keep seeing on all of the spaces. Spatial ratio is
Texel,
so fucked.
are you talking about the texel density or what?
Yeah. The way, yeah. Two way to say it. Text on
Yeah,
density. Yeah, it's all the way fucked in most of the
yeah,
spaces that I joined. But yours, it seems pretty straight.
yeah.
It's coherent. Let's just leave it at that.
There
It's
were some
coherent.
pros,
That's
yeah.
the relevance in it.
Yeah, Lucas, the Blender artist that helped to port these spaces because they were ported from architectural models from Rhino. So he took those and actually like
Okay.
interpreted them as an optimized game asset. He did a
Oh
great
yeah.
job.
Yeah. It's, Yeah, because that's original file format is still messed up, and if you give that to a 3D artist, man, that's just pure pain. So I think he
Yeah.
had to redo everything.
Oh, well, I'm glad we have a game designer here to give a guest talk tonight, so it's really great that you're here. And if anyone else is here, if you need any help with spatial art and new questions, feel free to type in chat. In fact, if you want to type in chat where you're coming in from, logging in from tonight, that would be awesome. I'm in the red hair avatar here. My name is Nick, and I am the community manager for Spectra Cities. We're a community that brings together physical placemakers and urban designers with um, virtual world builders to share knowledge and work on prototyping virtual projects that then could become real urban developments. So Matt over here is also on the Spectre team, doing governance and building our platform for cooperative governance. So there's a couple more people. The founder, Ryan Japetsky, is not here tonight, but we are a growing community, quite new. If you haven't visited our Discord, there's a link right outside the entrance here in the green bubble. And definitely click that. Check out spectrecities.com, and you can download our assets too and hack them, kit bash them. They're all CC0. So great.
That is cool. By the way, do you are you planning of putting all your assets in like a universal file format like GLTF?
Yeah, we have GLBs, Rhino, and then blend files, and then we also have a Unity package for the block design. So it's that's the repo right now, and it's going to grow. We call it the Source City Toolkit, and it's on our website.
Nice.
Great. So I will just go ahead and introduce our speaker. If I can find my folder. So we're very happy to have Kat Schrier here tonight. Kat Schrier, Dr. Karen Schrier, is the Director of Games and Emerging Media program at Marist College in the United States, and it's a university in the New York metro area, where actually I am in New York right now too. And she is the founder, CEO of Play. Did I say that right? Play LLC is a consultancy that focuses
Yes.
on using games to support inclusion, learning, and care. And Kat has written a book on this emerging interdisciplinary field, which is called We the Gamers: How Games Teach Ethics and Civics. Um, and it's being published by Oxford University Press, so check it out. And she's also the author and editor of over 100 published works. Previously, she was a media producer and game designer for Nickelodeon, Scholastic, and Brain Pop. And now Dr. Schrier consults as a game designer for the World Health Organization, where she creates games for teaching medical and health skills like basic emergency care, equitable participation in health policymaking. And you can find more about Kat at our website, karenschrier.com or platoplay.com, which I'll write out in the chat. So I'm going to turn it over to Kat, who has a presentation for us. It should be about 20, 25 minutes. You're free to type questions in the, I don't know, what do you prefer, Kat? Would you like to wait for the questions, or some people get disrupted if
Either
they
way,
see questions coming in left and right while you're talking?
I mean, I like interrupt mine to type something in the chat or say something out loud. Either way is fine.
Okay, sounds
Totally.
good. I'm going to paste your website here.
Awesome.
Yeah, take it away.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited to be here and to meet everyone. Today, I'm going to talk about the future of empathy in games, and also, like, you know, we often think of games as just like these separate entities, but they really are becoming the virtual worlds and the cities where we inhabit and live and spend our time. And so I'm just going to, again, thank you for having me. And I want us to just close our eyes for a moment and to imagine a new world. What would that world look like if we could create a virtual world like we're in right now? What would we create? How do we want to live? And what kind of society do we want to build? And if you have any thoughts, you can also post them in the chat, even if it's just like a word or some kind of adjective that you want to use to describe the world that you want to be in. Ooh, I like that. A slow life society. I was just thinking about that yesterday, that, you know, everything is always like rush, 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 try to get to the next place, try to do the next thing. But this idea of taking our time and savoring every moment feels really great also. Okay, balance between being online and offline. I like that. Thanks, Matt. Anyone else want to share? Okay, we'll keep thinking about it. For me, when I think about a new world, I think about these as my adjectives. And I'm really interested in how we can design, whether it's a virtual space or a offline space, as being filled with compassion and care and connection. What would it be like to redesign our institutions and our cities with compassion and care in mind? I think that our cities and our spaces would be very different than they are right now. And so just to give you a couple definitions, when I'm talking about empathy, it's feeling what another is feeling. Whereas compassion is more about like definitely caring about other people, but also taking action to support them. Unfortunately, though, one of the more recent surveys has found that over 80% of online game players have faced some kind of hate or harassment while playing online games. And that's shocking. And actually, there's a ton of studies that are showing toxicity in virtual spaces. But on the other hand, that same study found that 99% of those same online game players had really positive experiences, like developing friendships, helping other players, or mentoring people. And just as a reminder, games are communities, they're worlds that we create and design and play in. And just like other kinds of communities, like playgrounds or workplaces, they can be filled with cruelty, but they can also be filled with care. And I'm interested in how do we like push things to be going from cruelty to a more caring space. I'm just checking right now to make sure there's no questions. No questions so far. Okay. So I also want to understand, how can we learn from games? I know it sounds kind of shocking, but we can actually learn a lot about how to design a more caring world, whether it's online or offline, from the games that we play. And the first game example that I want to share with you is called Kind Words. It's an indie game. You can actually go and if you download Steam and you can buy it through Steam, it's not terribly expensive, but it's a really wonderful and you can call kind an emotional game. In this game, you're writing letters to other people out there in this game world. They're anonymous letters. And you can talk about a problem that you're having. You can talk about things that you need advice with. And then people also write you letters too, right? So I've gotten letters, help. They need help with a relationship that they're struggling with, or they feel overwhelmed with schoolwork, all different kinds of letters. And I actually wrote a letter when I was writing my book. And so this is my book, by the way, We the Gamers. And when I was writing it, I was, like many authors, was feeling like, oh my gosh, this is so insurmountable. I feel like I'm never going to get this done. And so I wrote that in a letter. I sent it out. And a few days later, I got back all of these words of encouragement. Actually, you can see in this picture, someone wrote back to me, don't be too harsh on yourself. I am sure the book you are writing is amazing. We all have insecurities with the things we create or produce, but most of the time we are too harsh on ourselves. I encourage you to finish it. You got this, and I am proud of you. Someone wrote that to me, and it made me feel really good. Like it, again, I'm never going to meet from some anonymous person, but I got back all these really amazing kind words. And having that kind of environment where you're cheerleading each other and you're caring for each other and you're trying to help each other out, it just inspires you to be more caring toward other people. When you feel cared for, you care for other people too. And so to me, this really shows us that care inspires a caring world. My second example is an example from Minecraft. And Minecraft, as many of you know, virtual world where you can build things, you can create different, whether it's a building or you can create a little mini world, and you can share that with other people. And you can show people what you have been working on. And that ability to express yourself and to really be who you are helps you to feel more belongingness and inclusion. On the other hand, though, there are issues that have been identified with Minecraft in that some of the biases that we have in our everyday real world, unfortunately, also end up being embedded in Minecraft as well. And so we want to make sure that we are allowing people to fully express themselves. Like, for example, I was just telling Nick when I was in this environment, I was like, I have to put on a different outfit. Like the outfit that I had on when I first joined was a sweatshirt and sweatpants. And, while I do like wearing that, it didn't feel like the kind of outfit I would want to wear in a presentation. And I was looking through all the outfits and, what was the name of the game on Steam? It's called Kind Words. It's by Pop Cannibal. Yeah. So I kept looking through the outfits to find one that really actually made me feel like me. And I was also talking about how, when I was looking at the faces and the hair, it was like all young, like everything was like young avatars. Oh, thank you, Nick. That's helpful. So I wasn't able to fully express who I was even this this world, but certainly it's a lot better than most, right? So you can just see how, there's certain decisions that people will make that will limit the ability for you to express yourself. And that limits your ability to feel included in a space. This third game is sort of two parts. There's one game here, it's a free game. It's called Quandary. And you can just Google Quandary and you'll be able to find it. I can also post a link if that's helpful. If you just do Quandary game, I think that might be actually the URL for it. In this game, this is a game that was designed intentionally for middle school and high school students to help them with problem solving and to help them with critical thinking. And it's really important if we're designing any kind of new world, whether it's virtual or real, to have the ability to really listen to other perspectives and to equitably evaluate others' ideas to solve problems in the best way that we can. And so this game helps you to really listen, to sort opinions, to think about different perspectives when you are solving problems. In this game, you are playing as someone who is part of a new society in a new world called Braxos, and you have to solve problems like, what do we do with these sheep-like creatures that keep escaping? And you have to listen to the other people to find out what might be the best solution. And this game here is really nice. It's what I call a knowledge game. It's part of a really huge game called Borderlands, and it is specifically a game within that where you can engage in something called citizen science or open science, where you can actually help to solve real world science problems through the game. And so what we learned from this is that we really need to not just have people in power making all of the decisions or being able to have their voices heard. We want to be able to hear diverse voices, to allow people to co-design the community and to be not only participants in a world, but really people who have the power to make change. This is a really lovely game, and it's also free. It's called Sweetheart. And you would be able to find it if you type in sweet, and then there's an X in the middle, and then it's heart. And if you type in sweet X heart and Google that, you should be able to find it. If you can't, I'll find you the link. Again, free game where you play as a woman, a Black woman in New York City who is navigating the city and going all different places, going to her workplace, going to her school, having to go through the urban environment to go to the subway. And she has to make different choices about how she's going to dress for the day or how she's going to respond to things at work. And based on her responses, her anxiety level goes up or down. And you start to feel like, oh, I'm really trying to understand some of the constraints, some of the difficulties and complexities of being a person who has to navigate these intersectional issues, like being a Black woman in the workplace or being a Black woman at school. And obviously, we can never fully understand what it's like to be someone else, but it gives us a taste. It gives us a step toward that understanding that people are dealing with things that we don't realize. And like, for example, I had some of my students play this game and they were like, oh, wow, I didn't realize I had to like think about all of these issues of like what to wear and how that might affect, or like what to say back to someone and how that might affect other people. And they started to realize that, it's really complex to navigate life, depending on who you are in this world. And I think having that kind of perspective taking can help build connection. And so we need to find ways when we're designing these new worlds to be able to engage with perspectives that are not our own, but to also engage in an ethical way. Because while some designs may foster understanding and human connection, other kinds of designs may inadvertently, unfortunately, further biases. And so we have to find those right designs for that. Because there have been times when people have gone in with the best intentions in what they've designed, and they've unfortunately, inadvertently, fostered biases rather than helped to reduce them. And I'm just checking right now. Does anyone have questions? Oh, thank you for posting that. Oh, you have a question? Regarding the game I mentioned with the trolls and the letters, I know that they have moderation, so they review the letters and they make sure that the letters are kind, but they also build it into the game in kind words where you use the magical deer and someone asking a question, I can't tell.
It's Catalyst, your mic's
Yeah,
open.
so you need this magical deer. The deer gives you tips on how to write a kind letter, and you start to kind of go on this journey where you feel like you want to be kind. But certainly not everyone's going to do that, right? Some people are going to purposely and intentionally not follow the rules and not be kind. But they do moderate those letters. I don't know to what extent, though. But all the letters I received have been really, really supportive and kind. All right. So another game that's also free is called When Rivers Were Trails. This is a game, it's a point and click adventure game. It helps you to go into history and to understand what it was like to be someone from the Anishinaabe peoples. It's an indigenous people in northern United States and like the southern part of Canada, kind of like right in the middle, like Minnesota area. And people who were unfortunately in the 1890s pushed off their land due to the allotment acts, which were, again, very horrible US policy that pushed indigenous people off their land. And so you go on a journey where you are having to grapple with moving off of your land. But while you're doing that, you're learning about the culture, you're learning about everything from different customs to, sorry, my cat is jumping on me at this point. And you're learning about what it was like to live in that historical moment. Now, again, you can't ever know what it's like to be in history, right? It's a moment from time. But this game gives you a window into the past and also helps to express stories of the past. And we want to build a future where people can express their stories, they can learn about other people's stories, and that it's fair in who gets to express and share and preserve those stories. And one thing that's really wonderful about this game is that it wasn't like someone coming in and just like making the game about another person's culture, but it was a game where indigenous people made the game about their own culture. And so giving people that ability to be empowered to tell their story, whether it's through the world that they get to build and how it's designed, or it's about a game.
What was the name of that one again, Kat?
Oh, that one's called When Rivers Were Trails. Sorry, I have to toggle between my presentation and being here. So if I miss a question, go ahead and yeah. There you go. Thank you, Nick. Go ahead and talk out loud if there's a question in there. All right. And then finally, is something that games, I think, show us so well is that when we're designing, whether it's a city, a virtual world, any kind of space, we have to think systematically, right? So games are systems. They are dynamic systems that can show us the problems. They can show us the potentials. This is a game called Plague Incorporated. It's not a free game, but it is something that you can download through Steam. And it's a game that's been around for quite a while, but it's become more well-known more recently because it basically takes you on an adventure. You play as a plague, so like a virus, a fungus, a bacterium, right? And you have to try to spread yourself as far and wide to all the different cities and parts of the world. And, you know, you could think about it like it's kind of a destructive game in a way, but it also gives you a sense of how, like, for example, a virus is spread. And people were using this game at the start of the COVID-19 pandemic to try to model the spread of the coronavirus and to try to figure out ways to stop it. And at first, Plague Incorporated was like, no, don't use our game for that. It's just a game. You know, it is a really good model. It's a good simulation, but it shouldn't be used for that purpose. But then they actually ended up creating a mod of this game where you play as someone trying to stop a coronavirus type virus, and you get to try to do all different things like have fact checkers or deploy field operatives or to try to affect the system in a way that will help heal the world instead. So very interesting to see how games can help us to really understand all of the different systems and how they interlock over time. So I don't know how I am doing with time, but I just wanted to show you like a couple things that I'm working on right now in making inclusive and caring games. One of the things I'm working on is creating a VR game with the Lagos Business School in Nigeria. And it's part of a Templeton World Charity Foundation grant. And we are creating a game where we hope to reduce biases among different ethnic groups in Nigeria. There are over 250 different ethnic groups there. And at the halfway point, perfect. Unfortunately, like there was a civil war not that long ago, and there's still tensions that remain among the different ethnic groups. And so what we're trying to do is show a story of someone who is Nigerian. Like, for example, maybe you are Yoruba, and if you were playing this game, you might play as someone who's Hausa. And as a Hausa person, you would face certain kinds of discrimination, and then you would learn how to reduce your biases against someone by understanding what it's like to be in those shoes and to face that kind of discrimination. And so we're designing the game and then testing it to try to understand, are we reducing biases? Are we hopefully not promoting biases? So we're trying to find the right designs, and we're testing out 3 different ways to do this kind of game to see which one reduces biases the most. This game is aimed at Nigerian youth, and it was made by Nigerian people. I am there just to help with the game design because that's my expertise, but everybody else in the project is Nigerian. And I'm hoping that it will help us to learn how VR can help to reduce biases. Well, the second thing that I wanted to share with you today is a game that is that I'm working on with the World health organization, and I wanted to show you a short little demo video about the game. And it's a game that teaches you the 5 moments of hand hygiene. That's basically the moments where you would know when to use hand sanitizer or when to wash your hands. It's geared toward clinical staff, so medical professionals like nurses and doctors, to help them understand when they should be washing their hands. And it sounds like a really simple thing to know, but it's actually really complex. So using a game to teach this is really effective and useful. And let me see if I can click over here to our video area. You might have to turn where you're looking. I'm not sure how this is going to work, but I will click it to begin.
It's working for me at least.
Is it something playing?
Yep. Ooh. Wow, it crashed. Did that crash for everyone?
All right. I'm glad someone's saying.
Some of you
tell
may
me
have
when
just
it ends.
crashed. Sorry, it's crashed and had to reload, but yeah.
Yeah.
It's back now.
If you can't see it, I'll give you the link to it.
Great. Yeah, it's working for me.
Yeah, just tell me when it. Oops. Little.
There it is.
Face. Yeah, tell me when it ends. Is it ended yet?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
Yep. All set.
I don't know how to turn it off. Is it off?
Yep.
Yeah, it just ended.
It ended? Okay. So it's off. Yeah, it's completely broken for me.
Yeah,
Sorry.
it actually
Okay,
crashed. I had to
cool.
reload the scene, but now it's good.
Okay. Should I keep going, or I could stop here and get questions and see what people are thinking, or I could keep going. It's really up to you. I'm happy to answer questions.
Yeah, we've been going for what 30 minutes now, so maybe if everyone wants to take a deep breath,
and if
have a drink of water, center yourself up, put your feet on the ground, have a little stretch. This is the moment. Well, if anyone is in VR, I know that the 30-minute point is when you start to get the first VR fatigue. This is interesting. But,
exactly.
Yeah. So, be honest with how you're feeling, and no hard feelings if anyone needs to take off early. But, why don't we continue? Because I'm curious what else you've got, and if there's questions as well, just keep typing those in the chat.
Yeah, if people have questions, I can answer questions, or I could show you some more stuff. It's really up to you.
I think we're good to go.
Pause
keep
here.
Going, yeah.
Okay, we can keep going. All right, so one of the things I'm also doing besides making games is also inviting other people to design these kinds of pairing and inclusive game worlds. And so one of the things I've been doing is having game jams where people get together for a short amount of time and they design games. And it could be a board game, it could be a digital game, it could be an interactive narrative game, something done really quickly. And so I created, for example, a guide to how we might create more empathetic games that you're more than welcome to check out. If you want a copy of that guide, please email me and I'll just put my email here if you ever want to get in touch. The link to it is no longer working, so I just want to give you give you that so that you can email me, and also give you a link to the report. This link does work if you wanted to use that and download the report from there. It's a report on the research that I did on game jams and using them to not only create games that are inclusive, but also to look at whether or not the process, the very process of designing, helped people become more caring and inclusive. And so that's also really interesting to think about. I was lucky enough to work with my Nigerian colleagues to do some of these game jams in Nigeria. So that's really exciting. They were creating their own games there. And so I guess I ask all of you, what is the future of empathy in games? And my hope is that we create a culture that prioritizes player care, that we find ways to care for each other and to make a caring culture, that we prioritize compassion and human understanding in how we design our worlds, whether they're virtual or not. And then also one that invites players to be co-designers, to create their own worlds, and to be able to fully and deeply express themselves and to feel a sense of belongingness such that we can become a collective that can make positive change in the world, and that we can also celebrate ourselves as individuals. So I hope that we can collaborate in different ways together to redesign our world. Please get in touch with me.
Thank you so much.
I can send you. I think there is. I think there is a video of this. But thank you for clapping. That's really cool. But also, I can send you my slides as well. If you email me, Atessa. I'm sorry if that's not really your name, but Atessa, I would love to share slides with you.
Great. So cool. Well, we still have some time. If anyone has any questions or anything, feel free. Have at it. The mics are open as well. Feel free to use your microphone. I guess I'm trying to think of a question. So one of the problems we're trying to figure out with our community is like, how do we start to, we have these meetups and stuff, but what we really want to do is build things together. And to start to do that, how would we, it seems like there's a couple of things we have to do. So not all of us have the same ability to build things. We don't have the same skills. We have to educate ourselves. This is a new medium for everyone. And then also we're coming from different backgrounds. There's gamers, there's architects, like professional architects, and that's kind of intimidating for me. I mean, they're a professional. How could I question what they bring, right? So if we're trying to bring folks together, how would you start to navigate that? Like, how do we create a space where we feel like we're equals at the table and like we have some agency to actually propose, like, I want to put this here. I think this should go here, or we need to do that.
I love that. I love that you're asking that question because it's really, really hard and challenging to navigate. I'm actually creating a game, not just me, but co-creating a game with other people about social participation and the sense of how do we bring everybody to the table with equity. And one of the first steps is to really just identify some of the ways that we don't feel like we belong at the table, right? To really fully acknowledge that people come in with years and years and years of feeling, whether it's having to face microaggressions or whether they're facing harassment. All of those things affect how much we can be ourselves and be fully present at that table. And then the next step is to find ways to mitigate that. And that is much dependent on the context. like right now I'm working with people who are medical professionals, right? So subject matter experts in the medical field. I'm also working with people from marketing.
Oh, shit. My bad. I'm gonna restart the stream.
Other designers and writers and project managers. And we all have to work together to make the best experience that we can and to respect each other and to really feel like we all have something to offer in the project that we're working on. Yeah. So I love your answer, by the way, that cities are complex and we need all of these people to be able to be able to participate in that and to create and to think that yes, we are all different, but we all should have a voice and we should all participate together.
I mean, we tried
But
to
it's
make up
tricky
a new
because that,
word, right? Like we call them
yeah,
member. If you're a part of our community, right, which everyone here is now, our
yeah,
word for member of Spectre Cities is city modder. We felt like we had to make a new word because um, we wanted to get rid of the baggage of different professional titles and so forth. So, and what we're trying to make is something totally new. So, hopefully, like the having that shared title could be one way that we sort of make everyone equal. But yeah,
well, that's
I don't
interesting.
know.
That's really cool that you're like, no matter who you are, you're a city maker. I
Yeah,
like that. Like for
exactly.
us, it's like, no matter who
Yeah,
you are, you know, we're all together. Like
yeah,
I don't know, we all have such different roles. Like if you're making a game, like you're like all game developers.
right.
Um,
There's
but
modders and
it's,
developers and then modders and then
yeah,
console
but then it's
players
like
and
your subject matter
yeah.
experts and but
I mean,
I
we
think
do want to
it's,
respect expertise too, I guess. I mean, because like,
yeah,
we want to defer to expert, but there's I guess multiple
yeah,
expertises, right? So sometimes we don't
right.
recognize some expertise as important as others when it really is. Um,
Yes, exactly. And sometimes it takes time to get to know each other and build those relationships, but it really pays off because then in the end, when you're working together and you're like, the way I talk about it, it's like almost by the end, we're sharing a brain, right? Because we've
right.
respected each other so much, we've broken down those barriers. And now we're just like, I know enough and they all know enough that we can all kind of come together as this like collective brain to make the best game that we can.
Mm,
And that's kind of magical, honestly.
nice.
It feels really good.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like doing a game jam would be fun. Like, so definitely have to
Yeah,
get
game
your
jams are
packet.
great
Yeah.
ways. Yeah, it really breaks down barriers because in some of the game jams that we were doing, some people were students and were just like starting to learn the tools of game development, and other people were seasoned professionals and they can work on teams together, but they're all there with a common purpose, which like
Yeah.
for the game jams I ran was about identity and expressing your identity. And
Right.
that's something that everybody can talk about because we all have an identity and we all have something that we can share and that we could and learn from and teach each other. So
Mm.
that is a very I don't know if you want to do like a city jam or
Yeah.
like I was a judge at a city hackathon
Oh, really?
where it was really great. It was for high school students
Wow.
to work on designing an app that could help the city of New York. And I was one of the judges, and they had like multiple rounds, and then there was like a winning app at the end of it. It was really awesome.
Oh, excellent.
It was
Yeah.
really, really, really creative, amazing, amazing students.
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting. Anyone else have any questions for Kat? Any games that you liked that you saw today? I want to try the When Rivers Were Trails. Definitely want to try that one. And the letter writing one for
Yeah,
sure. Yeah.
yeah, kind words is wonderful. It's just like if you ever have a problem or you're just like, I just want to help other people, you just kind of
Free
click on it and you're
dopamine.
like, I feel like it's like you feel good about yourself. Like I
And
helped someone today,
it's a real person, not
Yeah.
Chat GPT or
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
Great. Well, I'll let people think if you have any more questions for another few minutes, but yeah, we can sort of network a bit. There is an option in here I can turn on proximity voice, which would let you basically talk to people who are near you, and that way we could have more than one conversation going. But yeah, let's just give another round of applause for Kat. And thanks, that was a great presentation.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks for coming.
Yeah.
I feel like I need to give you hearts back.
Oh yeah, there's a in the bottom menu there. There we go.
Yeah.
If you're attending tonight, check out this link here in the it says survey. It's this bubble right here, and this is a quick survey about Spectra and some of the things that we do that we could do, and trying to get a gauge of how much you're excited about certain things, how you found us, etc. And then we hope if you're not in our Discord channel already that you will join the bubble here, the green bubble. Join our Discord. This is where you can keep in touch with us. We post all our upcoming meetups here, and we got one coming next Thursday. It's going to be at 12 p.m. Eastern next Thursday, right here. We're having Emmanuel Asgard. I forget his last name. Oh gosh, Emmanuel Asgard is
Oh,
somebody who has been active in the Roblox community, but they are basically train fans, and they have built the entire New York subway system in Roblox. So Emmanuel actually he used to
cool.
work for the Transit Museum here in New York, but by night in Roblox, he is driving the trains that he has designed the system. And he showed us on the laptop, he was picking up virtual passengers on the train in Roblox. And he told me that the MTA actually took some of their models and their designs. So whatever they're doing is so accurate that even the city's interested. So yeah, we're very excited for that
So cool.
next week. We might have to make Roblox counts. We'll see. Yeah, I hope to see you there. And yeah, thanks again, everyone. We can feel free to mingle here. You know, this is a persistent world here, so it's always up. If you want to explore the rest of the city, there's portals at the other side of the intersection. You can ask Matt or I questions. Again, my name is Nick. I'm community at Spectra. You can find me in Discord as Nick Koff, but this is Spectra's avatar. You can also follow this avatar, the pink-haired avatar. This will let you see all of our spaces that we shared as well. And make sure to drop a heart for this space in the upper right corner. Um, yeah, thanks so much. Cool. And great to meet you, Sigmatic. Yeah, hopefully keep in touch. We need to learn some
I had a question,
game-like
Spec,
skills.
actually.
Yeah, go ahead.
I had a question actually, Spec, for this space right here. So it's a pretty large space that you have. So eventually,
Yeah.
some people are going to approach you in order to place their things in here in order to get views. So I was wondering, do you have
Right.
anything right now in place so that anyone that is willing to get some exposure can just place, in the shop on the street level and display
Yeah.
his or her stuff?
Yeah, we have these prefabs over there. You can see these little huts. I mean, the little buildings, like those could be definitely used for some temporary installations. Of course, we've turned this plaza into sort of a gallery space where we have, our last presenter, we turned it into a full-on gallery. And so that was up for about a week. So we could take temporary installations. Pretty much any space you see here, you could take over. So there are some differences between this version of the city and the actual city design. For one thing, the blocks are wide open in the actual city, so you can actually walk underneath all the blocks, and there's like night markets and all this beautiful stuff. But even in this version, there's definitely some spots like you could take over. It would be cool to have a little gallery. I don't know if the architects had a particular spot in mind. Of course, we've taken over this corner here, but like this cluster of portals over here, like this has some spots that could be great as well. There's a night market, and we did a night and day version. That night has some augmented reality effects on it. There's apartment spaces, and oh my gosh, there's a funny story. We had left one of these apartments unlocked, as in people could edit it, and we've came back like 2 weeks later. We noticed that someone had decorated this entire apartment in the upper left, the L6B2. So two people had like moved into it without us knowing, and they filled it with
Oh,
furniture and
that,
like interior design. They basically moved in. I think they were refugees from
Awesome.
Altspace when Microsoft shut it down because the pictures on the walls were like a couple, like a man and a woman that were posing together, and they looked like alt space avatars. So we found them by email. I left a note with our email. I said, please let us know, and we will give you the keys. Give you access to the admin so they can own the space. And yeah, the lady in the photo emailed me, and so we got them to admin privileges. I
Let's
think,
say I would really be interested into owning an apartment property and also
oh
something on the
yeah,
ground level to display.
yeah,
How
yeah.
would I approach this?
Well, you can pick a space you like, including this. Actually, we can, clone any of these for you. So, well, you're an Illustrator artist, so obviously you could download our Blender or DLB files and upload them yourself. But we can also bring you into any space and sort of temporarily make you a host, and then from that, that will give you an option to save it as a template. And if you have something as a template in Spatial, that means when you go to the create a space option, you can create it from that template. So you basically duplicate any of these apartment designs and then have that blank canvas to build from. So yeah, feel free to, the rooftop is pretty cool too. The top one, that's sort of like our green roof concept with some aeroponics and like a rooftop cafe and stuff like that. Yeah,
That is cool.
yeah, great. I'm excited to see what you make. I mean, there's some talented people starting to come to Spatial now. So yeah, we're gonna have to up our game too pretty soon.
Right now, that I see missing is shadow baking. Like everything
Yeah,
is lacking. Like, but
yeah.
beside that,
Well, I've
this
got
space right now can just say
yeah,
props.
I have the bakery plugin for Unity, so I'm excited to go back in and like use bakery to maybe make some nice lighting. Yeah, and thanks once again, Tessa, for coming. Thanks for asking about it in Discord too. I hope that was enough information. But yeah, if you would like to copy the templates, reach out to us on Discord and we'll get you set up. Or if you see one now, if you want to explore, just let us know. I'll come in with you. There's 4 of these apartment designs. And I'll give the link as well to our toolkit. That's where the 3D models live for people who know how to use them. We have them in various formats. Here's the link. I think the ones that are most decorated, like optimized like this, would be the GLB files or the Blender files. You can find basically what we see here. Some of the stuff will be missing, like the trees are actually dynamic objects that were brought in afterwards, but
Right.
mostly they're the same, yeah.
Well, awesome, mate. Thank you for that.
Yeah, cheers. We can try one now if you want. What do you think? Which one sounds good? Let's do the L7. How about that, Tessa?
Oh,
This is a big one.
oh my God, dude! Right on the number. Right
Yeah,
on the number.
yeah. So this it says L7. Let's travel to there, and I'll meet you guys there.
L7.
L7B12. I'll put it in Discord too.
Yeah, that's it. This is it. Yes. Yes. Where do I sign?
All right, nice. Want to sign the lease? Yeah. Okay, the lease is right here. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Who wants to clone? Okay, I'm gonna
I want to clone that. Where
yeah,
do I sign for
yeah.
this?
I'm gonna temporarily I want to wait for a Tessa. Make sure I tagged Tessa with the link. Oh, someone messaged me about. Okay, I'm gonna do that afterwards. All right. Well, we're waiting. Oh, there they are. Okay, so I'm gonna make everyone a host temporarily, right? Don't abuse their privileges, please. Manage
Good.
hosts. And okay, now you're all hosts. Now you should be able to go to the top right 3-dot menu and go
Yeah.
down to the save as template. Save as template
Oh my
option.
God.
Do you see that, Atessa?
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh man. Oof. Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
So
Man, what a man. What a legend.
thank you. Our founder is going to be excited. He really wants people to take the apartments. So yeah, so now you have it. You've clicked Save as Template. So now, if you open a new tab and you go to spatial.io and then click Create a Space, and when you click Create a Space, it will open a window, and you'll have four options on the left. And it's free, Creator Toolkit, Collectibles, or Your Templates. And if you click Your Templates at the bottom, you will see the apartment that you just saved.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
What a man. What a legend.
Yeah, so decorate it, and
So,
hey, if you move in and decorate it, tag us, post it in our Discord. We have a screenshot
oh, for
for we
sure.
have a snapshots channel and social media. We're on Twitter. Let us know how it
Again,
is.
I'm making my collection of PBR fully ready GLTF format for Web3.
Oh,
So
great.
everything's going to be customized with custom PBR asset.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's actually going to give me a reason to increase the amount of items in the
Yeah.
collection.
Well, hey, do you see this skybox here? This image from this skybox? That is actually
Yeah,
that is a real Unity project for our PCVR demo. So you can
yeah,
all of that is
dude, I
explorable.
know. I know. I was noticing, like it is,
Yeah.
like literally, this is one of the best space that
Yeah.
there is on this app right now. Like
Yeah.
literally, I've
Thank
dug
you.
all of them. I went all of them.
Yeah.
It's professional. Again, the
Yeah.
pixel ratio point. It's big
Nice.
as crap. Like literally, it's the biggest that I've seen so
That's
far.
awesome.
And again, the quality is there. Like props, real
I'm
props
gonna
there.
relay that to the artists. They'll be really happy. Yeah, but everything in that skybox, like you can fly through that in the PC VR demo, which we actually have it linked in our Discord. You can download it. It's like PC or Quest with the link cable is how you use it. And yeah, there's a bunch of scenes in there, which I'm trying to, chop out and maybe republish because now we could publish some of them. But it's not very well optimized, but it's huge. Anything decent rig can run it, but yeah, including like the other side. You see, there's another tall building in the skybox on the other side, far side across the courtyard. That's also like navigable in the PCB VR demo. Wow, that's a interesting avatar there. Oh yeah, thanks to Tessa. I'm glad you're excited about it. That's cool. Nice. Let's see. We could check out one more space. Someone is a speaker. It's like their avatar. Um, and or is that an object? I can't tell.
Yeah, it's an object. I think it's a
It's
bugged
like
out
a
visual object. I'm
it's
not
like
sure why.
a yeah, Sketchfab. We could check out. Okay, before I forget though, because this is how we got our cyber squatters last time. Let me just undo the hosts. So
Okay, there you go.
you should still have the template in your thing. Yeah, great. So yeah, maybe we could check out one more space. The courtyard is over here, and I'm gonna go there. This is the concept.
Oh wow,
Yeah, this
that's
is the
wonderful. The
interior.
architecture of that, like this right here,
Yeah,
that is lovely use of this metal fence and just nature over it. I'm not sure the use
nice.
of it, but it's gorgeous.
Yeah, this concept was like so the ground floor here. Well, this is the second floor of the city, and if you look down, you'll see like
Okay.
that's the ground floor of the block, which is open to the street.
Oh,
We had to block it off for this scene just because of optimization, but it's open to the street down there, and then it has this sort of like village, right? Oops, this tree's not supposed to be movable, but it is.
okay.
That's okay.
Uh,
We'll deal with that later. Yeah, so the first floor is this is supposed to be like flexible office space, and then up the stairs is supposed to be like a dormitory style on the first floor of the apartments. But yeah, if you come down here, it's kind of hard to get back up. But we have this in the day version, and then there's a pink portal down here, which is the night version, which it looks like Wood Sender has already gone in here. Yeah, people wanted to go to this one, so let's see. I'm gonna post the link in our Discord, or maybe I'll come back up and put the portal up. It looks like he already went through, but for everyone else that's still up here, I'm just gonna drop another portal. Let's see. Create a portal. Choose the space. Um, okay. Spectra AR Market. Oh no, that's the wrong one. Sorry, don't go through there. Um, That was the same space, but it was a different version of it. Where is it? There it is. Okay. So this portal right here, Sigmatic's back. You were just in there, yeah. We're gonna go there too. I just made a
Okay,
portal up here. See this
dude,
big pink one?
dude, like literally,
Yeah.
I went in there for like 5 seconds, and all I want is to be able to copy that space.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah. Well, you can download it from our toolkit. So we have it in the blend file and GLB. Let's click through there. So it's right here behind us. SCAR market. I'm gonna click through and go there. And if we get split up, the meetup's pretty much over, but it's great. It's great to see everyone.
In the mission texture right there, gorgeous
Yeah.
area.
Oh, they worked hard on this one. This was definitely the hardest space for them to optimize for this.
And
Yeah.
oh, there you go. Thank you for that. Let me go into where's it? Dot.
Oh yeah.
And
Do you want to try it? I'll do it
environment.
for you. Yeah.
No, where's it?
Hang on. I gotta enable you. Hey, I gotta enable you. 1 second. I'll let you do it. Yeah, sure.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
So
Um,
I saw the plus. I thought I had it. Oh,
yeah.
there you go.
There you go. You should have it now. So
Oh, so
people have already ported this space to other platforms. We had somebody that put this on hyperfi.io. There's a multiplayer startup called Spatial Ape, which is a meetup, and they took this space into their meetup, which they publish as an APK. Uh, Someone else is using this for an A-frame project for WebXR. So this market has been around. This thing's been brought into like 5 platforms already.
that's it. That's it. Some old thing from other platform. It's perfect. It has
Yeah,
a story. It's
the
perfect.
real metaverse, right? We're interoperable now. So yeah,
Dude, thank you for that. Again, I just saved that. Thank you a lot.
yeah.
I'm clearly gonna have to
I'm
showcase my asset. It's just
we're
great environment.
excited to see what you do with it. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna.
Man, I'm on a challenge to catch them all now. Like it's starting to be like a Pokemon like thing.
It's like, oh wow, this is good, Matt. It's like collectibles. We should drop some new stuff soon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man. Dude, I'm on you guys for real. Good job. Sorry for keep saying it, but really, yeah, I've been checking all of them, and so far, like you're
Oh,
on top of the game.
thank
Like,
you so much. Yeah, I'm really gonna tell the artists about it because they'll be really happy. We had one person that was like, it's like the graphics aren't great and whatever, but they didn't understand like this is like made for mobile, like for cell phone, you know?
yeah, you don't get how big it is, and it's made
Yeah,
for cell phone.
you
Again,
have to like
I think you could.
optimize in some way. Yeah,
The one thing you could probably push, and if you want help, I could heavily help on that. But
definitely.
it's adding a bit of roughness to those material, and there's
Ah,
a really you could way to add some roughness and
yeah,
metallic properties to some of those assets without ballooning like the texture count.
yeah. Now that we have Unity, we can do a lot. I mean, I have 2 options now. I don't know. It's hard because like I could take these optimized versions into Unity and just make the lighting really good and stuff, and add, like you said, like a PBR texture and stuff. But I could also go back to our PC demo, which has very high fidelity versions of this, but they're not optimized. So I need to like figure out maybe some of the meshes need to be optimized and stuff. I have to take a look at the project, the PC repo, but um, we have some options. Yeah.
That is awesome. Again, thank you for that. Those
Yeah.
two spaces, be
Yeah.
able to
Oh,
copy those.
baking. I remember Lucas, the artist that made this, was baking the lighting on this, and it was tough. Like it took him a while to figure out how to bake. Yeah.
Spectra. Just to give you an example, the guy who made the top lighting artist at Unity.
Yeah.
Okay, there's a talk actually. You can find it on YouTube. So
Uh-huh.
that woman was working on the scene, and she went at a party, Unity party, and
Uh-huh.
she went to talk to the guy who actually built like the baking system, right?
Oh yeah.
And she was like, I'm baking my thing, and like I hope like this is gonna be fine. And then the guy looks at the boss looks at her, and he's like, Yeah, same too. Every time I bake, I'm wondering if that's gonna bake correctly.
Yeah.
So like the guy is like the top, lighting baker in Unity, and
Yeah.
he's also like hoping for the best
Oh,
when he
that's
bakes.
Unity for it. Yeah. I really like the bakery plugin though. I still need to learn the different modes, but it's pretty amazing with it has the real-time RTX preview that you can get for it and stuff.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's cool. All the BR chat hobbyists use bakery, so I learned from them because they're like miles ahead of everyone. Great. Well, cool. I think yeah, it's been a long day for me, Matt. This like third metaverse event today because of the NYU thing we were at. So I think I'm about to clock out. But yeah, yeah, good to be in touch. And Sigmatic, you know our Discord. Do you have a link?
I'll try to hop in. I'm mostly never on Discord. It's an
Oh,
old
that's
thing that I
fine.
have for games, but I still
Well,
own
you
it.
can
But yeah,
also
I'll join.
you can also
I'll join
follow
it for
us
sure.
on Twitter too. We're Spectra Cities.
Oh yeah, sure. I'm actually mostly active on Twitter, by the way.
Perfect. You can
There
just
you go. I'll
find
just
us
come.
there and tag us if you make anything for sure. Yeah, this guy,
That's it.
this person, Jin, that's part of a virtual makerspace called M3. Jin's the one that ported this to HyperFi and has been posting some cool experiments with this space.
Nice. Again, thank you for all that info, and thank you for letting us,
Yeah.
copy those spaces.
Yeah, welcome to Spatial. I know we need to meet our neighbors more. There's a pretty big community on Spatial, but we haven't really met them that much. But I'm hoping to meet up. There's the Japanese users on Spatial have made a space called the Garden Bee City. If you check it out, they've got a lot of resources there, especially like they're testing all the new features like vehicles and quest
Oh yeah,
system
yeah.
and stuff.
I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, great, awesome. Well, yeah, good to see everybody. Thanks. We'll see you next week. And yeah, how's it going, Matt? We're gonna, I don't know. Well, oh, I need to finish the newsletter stuff. I'll take a look at that tomorrow. But
Okay, yeah, I'll ping Ryan again.
yeah,
See
we
if they
might
have any pictures
we can send that
they
as
want to
late
use.
as Sunday. So maybe let's sit on it till like maybe Sunday. We can post it. I've got to do some videos, but I might not. Well, maybe not the videos. Maybe I'll just do a clip show. We'll see. We'll have some stuff to put on it anyway.
Yeah, sounds good. Thanks, dude.
Awesome.
Yeah, I don't remember if I mentioned, but I think it was yesterday. Yeah, yesterday I had a quick call with Ryan's nephew, who's like learning some of the game stuff too.
Oh
I
yeah,
think he
yeah.
was in our call today at one point.
Oh great. Yeah,
Um,
that's awesome. Yeah, we got to start building more next week. As well next after tomorrow I'm done with the NYU thing, so I'll have time to make stuff.
yeah, and I'm for the Unity learning platform thing. My first big project is going to be making like a first person player game where you're going around one of the blocks collecting Spectra tokens and
Perfect. Yeah.
being chased by NIMBYs basically.
Oh
So
my gosh.
last night
That sounds like
I coded
for
the
TikTok.
yeah, I coded the absolute basics of it last night, but
Wow.
yeah, probably within 2.5 weeks we'll get somewhere with it. Ryan sounded pretty excited.
Nice, nice. That's great. He's like NIMBY. I want to make something where you can take the SUV and like throw it into the sky, and it's like got low gravity.
Yo, that would be hilarious too.
Just like go down the street.
Oh
There's
wait,
all these SUVs, and you just pick them up and throw them up. It's pretty easy with the XR toolkit because you can just set the
yeah.
set the gravity on the object or whatever, and just like yeah, yoink it into the sky.
So my game is basically like a 3D first player version of Pac-Man, but
Oh right.
Yimby NIMBY style.
Oh my
That
gosh.
game could basically be like a Spectre Cities version of Angry Birds, where you're just launching
True.
these vehicles into like
Yeah. I mean, I was playing that.
The structures
Yeah.
of poorly designed cities.
I mean, the simplest game
Yeah.
loops can work for a lot of things. Like the Over Beast AR game I was playing today, the new one from Liquid City. Like their game is based on like the cookie clicker game loop. Like it's literally just holding down a button to collect more and more things and scaling up your attributes so that you get more and more. Like then you're collecting 10,000, then you're collecting a million, and it's like simple, addictive. But they built like a whole story around it that makes it interesting. So yeah, keep it simple, I guess. Cool. Yeah, this was great, and there was really that guy was so happy. I really want to tell the Numina artist about it now because that guy was glowing review. It was awesome. We gave
Yeah.
away 3 apartments, and I had a really good talk that actually had some cool tips about doing co-design. So yeah, that was great.
Yeah, they were ecstatic.
Nice, nice. Um,
Yeah, hopefully they do something with it and then post it somewhere that we can see.
oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, yeah. I don't know if you got. I think they're an environment artist, so that was great. Um, we
Yeah, I
need
looked at
that skill.
their Instagram real quick,
Art station.
and
Yeah.
they had what looked like a bunch of they look like textures, but I think they
Mm,
might have just been like
yeah.
cool material spheres.
Yeah, we need
Oh, they looked like
materials.
materials, I
We
should say.
definitely need materials because a lot of the materials we have were not the CC0 ones. So I was
Hmm.
hoping this guy that I was talking to, he was no show for our talk, but he was interested in open source materials. So, but yeah, I mean, it's great. If we have eventually a library where people can just build environments where they have enough parts to build things, I think
Hmm.
over time we'll get there. We have a really good start, and Jin was starting to make
Yeah.
Jin was starting to write up a text list of like all the props and objects that he wanted to see modeled. But we can keep that list going maybe. Anyway, yeah,
Yeah.
cool. I'm gonna get some food because I haven't
How
really.
hard would it be?
What's up? Sorry,
Okay,
no,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
fine. It's
never
fine.
mind.
It's fine.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say, how hard would it be to get the Spectra assets onto the Unity store? Because I think we can just
Mm,
update from there too.
yeah, I think. Well, the question is how we would manage. Like, what is our authoritative source? Is it our repo on GitHub? Is it Unity thing, or is it like something we put on
I
Sketchfab
mean,
collection? You just have to figure out the version
mhm,
control, but and then double check what we have, what we're able to reshare. But I think anything that's in our actual toolkit we can is fine. The stuff from the PC we have to be really careful. But yeah, I think we
right.
could do that. I definitely we might need to work on it a bit just to build it out a little bit more. But if we can come up with like the materials and the probably the block, I think that's what we'd put in Unity, right? Because
Yeah.
we have that as a Unity package file, which is really easy to use in Unity. So we could possibly share
Hmm.
that. I think it's not textured or it's the materials are not on it. So, but that's, I mean,
Okay.
there's plenty of Unity packages, Unity things on the store that don't have materials, but yeah, it makes it a little harder to use. Um,
Yeah, that's the block that I'm gonna use in my project.
oh yeah,
We'll have to learn how to texture it all,
it's
I
a little
guess.
gray. Well, I mean, that's good practice though, because you can learn like how the materials work. Because like whenever I do
Yeah.
something in Blender and then to bring it into Unity, the Blender materials don't just like work in Unity automatically. So you pretty much in Blender you pretty much just want to make the mesh and make the, but you want to decide how many different materials. So like you can just color things like placeholder colors in Blender just to show that this is going to be
Mhm.
material A and B, like a paint by numbers.
Right,
And then when
right.
you bring it into Unity, that's when you actually do the material of application. Um, but all the UV maps and stuff have been done in Blender so that the textures will apply the right way and project the right way. But yeah, Unity is
Oh,
where
I
you have
see.
to, because the shaders in Unity is like what controls how it looks, and so you have to use certain Unity shaders to. Unity has a standard shader that has all the PBR like roughness and smoothness, and you can do a lot with just that one shader. But then it also has a node-based system, I think, as well for making shaders, and you can just program them in C sharp. People do that in like make their own water shader and stuff. That's a lot of math, which I'd love to
That's
learn sometime.
intense. Yeah.
But there's a thing on Twitter where it's like a tweet length shader. So you have the length of a tweet to write to program a shader. And people have made amazing looking 3D visualizations like within 140 characters of math, basically.
Wow.
It's really cool. Yeah, anyway, cool. I'm
Well,
gonna hop
yeah,
off
get some food.
and end the stream
Yeah.
here. Okay.